Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, I'm back with another great video about captions on websites. All right? Such a small element, such a big impact. We definitely need to talk about captions, and here's why. When visitors arrive at any web page, they scan the following items: headlines, subheadlines, images, videos, and captions. Captions are one of the most visible elements on any web page, and in my opinion, they're really taken for granted. Webmasters don't use them enough, and they're incredibly persuasive. It's a great persuasion opportunity. It's a high visibility opportunity to engage with your audience and to convey an important message. And I'm going to show you today the best way to add captions to your WordPress website. All right, let's dive in. In your WordPress media gallery, you have the ability to add captions to images. So we'll look at an image, and on the left side, it shows your image. On the right side, you've got some fields here, and you can enter alternative text, title, caption, description, and it gives you the file URL. Under caption, you can enter whatever caption you want for your image, and then when you insert that image into your web page, it will output with the caption. All right? When you do this, WordPress spits out a special HTML structure to create this sort of display conceit where you've got an image followed by a caption. It's very clear that the caption is associated with the image. The specific reason they do it this way is for the following scenario. I'll show it to you now just for completeness here so we know. All right? So let's say I want to put an image floated out to the right over here and have that image have a caption. All right? So we'll do that. We're going to add media. We're going to go down to our captioned picture. And I want to align it to the right. I know my face is covering this up. Also, quick note, there's alignment, link to, and size options down here under attachment display settings. You want to make sure that you have chosen the full size image. If you haven't done this before, WordPress will select a smaller size and the image will look bad. You don't want to do that. Make sure you select full size. In this case, I'm going to align it out to the right just to demonstrate here. Normally, I would select no alignment. Anyway, we're going to insert this thing into the page. Let's go. So here it is. It's way too big. It doesn't look right here. So I'm going to adjust the size of the image just for this demonstration. We're going to make it half size, and that way it'll stick out to the right there and look real nice. All right, we're going to update, and let's take a look. Okay, with this image pushed out to the right, now we see that this caption is still like in this box that defines the image, and this all looks right. This scenario is the only acceptable scenario for using the default WordPress caption functionality. Okay? I'll show you the HTML structure here so you can understand why I don't want you to do this and why it's not optimal. Okay? Real quick, we'll just take a look at this before we get to the meat. So for this picture, well, let's go down and look at a basic picture first. Here's a basic image inserted from WordPress with no caption. If we look at this in the HTML source, it's simply an image tag, just a bare bones image tag with some other information. This is the proper way to insert an image. You stick the image in there, and then there's no other additional HTML markup for it because it doesn't need it. But with this captioned image from WordPress, we have a different scenario. We have a div, which is like a wrapper, containing the basic image tag, and then there's some text in here. It's a paragraph tag that defines what the caption is. This construction notably includes a SYN, a web standards SYN, known as inline CSS styling. It's right here to define the width of this box. This is necessary to make it behave like this, but the problem is including inline CSS anywhere in your web page is considered a violation of web standards. Now, it's not the end of the world at all. Probably won't have any negative impact at all, frankly. But for me, I want to do everything on my web pages the best and most succinct possible way. If I'm going to use default WordPress caption functionality for an image like this that isn't pushed out to the left or to the right, it turns out this construction is actually too verbose. It doesn't need to be that big. It doesn't need to be that confusing. It doesn't need all this extra stuff in here. Bottom line, it's adding kilobytes to your page that don't need to be there. Your page will be faster the smaller it is. And so it would be better if we didn't have all this extra stuff that we don't need when we use captions. And like I said, the only time where this type of construction, the default WordPress construction, is necessary is when you're floating an image out to the right or to the left and including a caption. Okay, so that's not ideal. Let's look at an alternative approach to captions that leaves us with the minimal amount of HTML that we need, keeps our pages fast, and also gives us great flexibility. So real quick, this flexibility point is important. Within WordPress, if you on this image I showed you, I've got a specific caption associated with this image. But what if I want to use this image in a completely different context with a completely different caption? If I were to do that, I'd insert the image, but then I would have to go back and actually change this caption to something else. And then it would work, and that would be okay, but I don't like the idea that I've got one caption associated with the image, but that's really only for one specific context, and I might use this image in other contexts where that caption isn't relevant. So you see that it begins to set up the situation where it's not really ideal, it's not really flexible. So, it suggests that this approach is a little bit flawed. We see that the HTML output is flawed. We see that this caption association is flawed in terms of flexibility. This just isn't great. So now let's look at something I'm calling flexible focus captions, which is a different way to add captions to your images. And I think it's more straightforward. Hear me out here. Let's check this out. Okay, so I've got an image I've inserted. This image has no caption. I've just simply written some text after the image, and I now want to turn this text into a caption. But right now it's just a basic paragraph. I'm just writing here in the editor. But now I want to say, well, this is caption text that's associated with this image. So all I do is make sure the text follows the image, go up here to my focus content styles. I select caption to turn this into a caption, and boom, it's now a caption. Let's update. We do this, and bang, we've got our caption that's associated with the image. It's been pulled up closer to the image. You can see this is a proper caption. Notably, we don't have this framed output that we had with the other image, and that's part of the reason I like flexible captions. It's really clean. It leaves any other tweaks you want to make open to you. Like maybe, for example, you want you think this image looks best if it's popped off the page. So we could do this. We could pop it, and we can update it. And now when we look at the image is raised off the page a little bit. It's got this cool look to it, but the caption's still there. This wouldn't look right if we did this with this framed display conceit that is kind of endemic to the default WordPress caption functionality. So this already shows a greater degree of flexibility. And like I said, if you're just putting a caption right here in your content, you can make this caption whatever you want. It can be relevant to this image. It can be relevant to the context of this page. Maybe this is an image you use in sales. I'll give you an example. On my website, I have a bunch of videos, and I put these videos up on many different pages, but I always supply a caption that's contextually relevant to this specific portion of the page that it appears in. So I'm never using the same caption twice, you see. I'm always trying to be as persuasive as possible and as relevant as possible, depending on where I insert the image or video or whatever it is in the element I want to caption. Which brings me to the next key point about flexible focus captions, is that they can be used with more than just basic images. We think about images and captions as being related, but videos also related. I showed you over here. I've got captions on my videos. I'm going to add a caption to, I've got a video right here. Let's go ahead and add a caption to this video. So this is a little embed code for my video, and now I want to caption my video. All I do is select the text, turn it into a caption. It will be a caption for whatever appears above it. In this case, it's a video. So now my video has a caption. I know anyone who comes to this page is going to see this video, and I also know they're going to read this caption. It's an opportunity for greater persuasion and greater impact with your visitors. You're not limited to just images and videos either with these flexible focus captions. You can caption anything. So I've got what's called an alert call out right here. And I've already set up some text here underneath it, which looks like a normal paragraph for now. You would think this is just normal text that follows. I'm going to turn this normal text into a caption for that alert box. So boom, now it's a caption. Let's update. Let's take a look. And you might say, well, Chris, why on earth would you want to caption an alert box? Well, you could give some sort of important information here and then have like a disclaimer underneath. I actually do this on my pricing page. I have a pricing box, and underneath I have a little additional note that's answering a question I know people often have at this point in the purchasing process. Flexible captions are really, really clutch, and really they just offer you a great way to add more compelling information to your pages that people are very likely to read. So when you think about captions, I want you to think about your visitors scanning your page and stopping at, headlines, bold stuff, images, and captions. And like this is what they're reading, this is what they're absorbing from your page. So you want to make sure your messages are powerful when you convey these captions. And we're not done with the flexible focus captions. Check this out. You can even put a caption on a headline or a subheadline. It's amazing stuff here. So we're going to do this here with our flexible focus captions. I'm just going to add a new paragraph and even add captions. Whoa, captions to subheadlines. Mind blown. So we're going to do this. We're going to turn this guy into a caption. Oh, we do this with focus content styles, caption, boom. Let's take a look. Where is it? There it is. It's now a caption. We'll update. Let's see what it looks like on the web page. Boom. Now I've added a caption to this headline. I actually do this for real. This is not just a cool demo. I do this in the Focus Setup Guide where I introduce a new section topic, and then I have some supplemental text to tell you what you can expect. I set up expectations when I include captions after headlines and subheadlines. I mean, this is just a really, really thoughtful way to develop your pages. It is a way to take advantage of the way visitor attention works. It's a way to take advantage of user psychology, and it's a way to be persuasive in a way that people are actually going to see. This is so overlooked. The use of captions, like effective use of captions, is such an overlooked thing on the internet these days. I want you to come away from this thinking, wow, I've really got some new opportunities to get persuasive text out there and to do a better job connecting with my visitors. Okay, so by the time you're watching this video, Focus 1.2 will include flexible captions that will work in this type of environment. As soon as you're watching this video, Focus already includes flexible captions that will work after videos, images, callouts, things like that. It's just I've added this headline tweak in Focus 1.2 to give you even more options for, injecting these high visibility elements into places where people will see them. Okay, so I really like this method with Focus where you insert the image, you have some text after it, and you declare that, hey, this is now a caption text, and I've shown you how easy it is. You select focus styles to turn it into a caption. It's the easiest thing in the world. And now you know the best way to add captions to your WordPress website. This is a superior method. It will not result in the inline CSS styling. That's a big no-no from the perspective of web standards. It will ensure that your pages are as small as possible in terms of kilobytes. And it will also ensure that your pages are most effective and most persuasive. All right? This is a great element. Thanks for watching. Start adding some captions to your pages today and get Focus if you want to do it the best way possible. All right, fam. See you in the next video.